And man, we have a good one, a bizarre one, a crazy one, a a movie, man, that man, like wow. And especially the end, man, definitely took me for a loop. But this movie is called A Good Man. And this movie basically had three main people. It's the three main people that you see on the picture right there. At the top, that's your boy Ethan Carter, the man who was dubbed the good man. Then you had the person that he fell in love with, Miss Arie, right there holding the pistol. And then you had her ex, the man who took her through hell and high water, from what she said, Mr. Chaos, right? And yeah, that's it. That says a lot. That man name was nickname was Chaos. Well, anyway, the movie starts off. He was in a marriage, in a 6 year marriage, and he got a divorce because he caught his wife in bed with another man, and it hurt him so much to where he was actually seeing a therapist. Still, due to that, due to seeing his wife having sex with another man, right, in their home. So his friend was telling him, his coworker, his friend was telling him, man, you need to get out here, man, and start dating and, you know what I'm saying, start being a player like me, pretty much stuff like that. He was like, nah, man, that ain't for me. So he goes to a hibachi place, a hibachi gold place, right? And he bumps into Miss Arie, right? But check this out. And to me, this was just like a red flag. She in there going off on the cashier. I mean, run my card. Like she come in like run my card again. And they're like, well, we're gonna run it for the third time then. And her card was getting declined at a hibachi to go place now. Now most hibachi, now if you get like the chicken and steak, that's gonna be like 13.99, 14.99. You know what I'm saying? But they ran it again. So Ethan, who didn't know Arie from a hole in the wall, said, I'll pay for it. Use my card. She goes off on Ethan. I didn't ask you to pay for that. I don't need your help. I don't need your help. Run my card again. The cashier started getting louder with her. And she was like, and it's declined again. So he was like, you know what? Just pay. Just go ahead and pay for it or whatever. So he paid for her food. She was still ungrateful, which he shouldn't. After she had that first attitude with him, he should have just cut all ties then. But not only did he pay for her food, this Jimmy still tried to holler at her and gave her his business card. He was into real estate and stuff like that. So he gave her his business card and was trying to, you know what I'm saying, still try to holler at her, even if she was still being rude to him. So he like, yeah, my name's Ethan or whatever. He like, but hey, I never did catch your name or whatever. She still never gave this guy her name. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just red flags all over the place. But anyway, after that, you know what I'm saying? After that happens, she ends up calling him at his job and was like, hey, my car, she, referenced about her car not working, you know what I'm saying, and different things, you know what I'm saying, of that, you know what I'm saying, of that, of that nature. What's going on, Joy? This one, we doing this one comments only. Comments only on this one, Joy. I got you next go round. So we doing she called them, you know what I'm saying, on the phone or whatever. So he's happy, stuff. They making she making fun about, yeah, but I'm not bringing my card. He was like, well, leave your card, leave everything, and leave the attitude or whatever. And he was like, she was like, nah, my attitude come with me wherever I go. I was like, oh boy, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. So they was gonna meet up at 8. He said, I'm gonna give you the address and all that stuff. They was supposed to meet up at 8. They show him waiting outside the restaurant, 8:15, 8:27. And it lapsed to where she finally came up. And when she finally came, the restaurant was closed. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even trip. He didn't say, he didn't, you know what I'm saying, be like, nah, hey, the restaurant closed, don't worry about coming. It was just a bad idea. He still takes her to another spot, right? And she upset, oh, why you didn't tell me I had to dress up and all this other kind of stuff, right? So when after that happens, they have a little good little time, whatever. She seemed cool. Right after they date ended, he went to his coworker, she went to her hairstylist friend, and all they did was talk bad about each other. That's all they did. She like, he a square, and you know what I'm saying, he looked, you know what I'm saying, he looked boring and stuff like that. Then he was telling his friend, oh, she ghetto, and she was late, and she didn't know how to dress. And the friend like, man, you ain't tell her. He said, I've never had to tell a lady how to dress when we was going out on a date. So he was, you know what I'm saying, upset with that. And then at the end, both of them said, but it's something about her. It's something about him. So they went out on another date. Fam, in a few months, right? In a couple of months, this man brought her a brand new Benz. They'd only been knowing each other a couple of months, and he brought her a brand new Benz. You know what I'm saying? And he had already explained to her, because they was talking about before that, they was talking about, you know what I'm saying, well, why are you single? You know what I'm saying? He was like, he's single because he caught his wife cheating, you know what I'm saying, on him, whatever. She was like, she was single because she had her ex-boyfriend, had her, you know what I'm saying, had her in a shootout, where she was in the car while two people were shooting at each other. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, he was just like, was living a life of crime, and he was, you know what I'm saying, in jail. So they, after that first date, well, that first date that they had, whatever, they seemed to just be doing, you know what I'm saying, just doing exponentially, you know what I'm saying, well, or whatever. But my man, he was just like really, like, just over exuberant of his feelings, you know what I'm saying, for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he was seeing different stuff here and now, you know what I'm saying, he still, you know what I'm saying, did not care. So a couple of months later, right? A couple of months, he takes her out on a, you know what I'm saying, on a boat, right? Takes her out on the boat and proposes to her. Proposes to her on the boat. And he said, you know, I know it's only been a couple of months. So he said a couple of months. So we know he got her that Benz early, right? That brand new Benz early, right? So let's just say it was 3 months. He proposed to her on the boat. So this guy, normally when you propose to somebody y'all in love, it's like, yes, yes, I'll marry you, Ethan. Yes, I love you, Ethan. She didn't even know what to say. And she ended up saying, F it. Yeah. That was her acceptance speech. F it, yes. That's what she said to him. You know what I'm saying? That's what she said to him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this guy still don't get it, right? So she goes and talks to her friend, which her hairstylist friend seemed like to be the only one that was sane, you know what I'm saying, in the movie. Well, and you know what I'm saying, his coworker friend, but she was like, you know what I'm saying? So what's going on or whatever? And she was like, well, she's like, do you not want to be married, or do you not just want to be married to him? And Arie was like, both. You know what I'm saying? So she accepted her the proposal, if that's what you want to call it, an acceptance. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't want to be married, and then she didn't want to be married to him. So now he's working with two double negatives, you know what I'm saying, on this. You with somebody who really still sees you as a square or whatever, but she just likes that you treat her nice, that you're not treating her, you know what I'm saying, like her ex, right? So this was the thing that was getting me with Ethan. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, like he said, I haven't been able to open up in this long. I don't know if his heart was just built like that, but he was always trying to progress stuff. Like, even after they got engaged, he was like, yeah, we're gonna have a family and stuff like that. She's like, whoa, a family? And he like, yeah, I want to take care of you, and this could be more time for us, and stuff like that. And she was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, she didn't say it like that. She had like an attitude with, you know what I'm saying, she said, 'cause you're like, you ain't finna get me knocked up and then start cheating on me, and stuff like that. So she had like some little unresolved issues, you know what I'm saying, her, you know what I'm saying, herself. But somehow how Ethan came off to her, like he loved her. I could tell he loved her, but he was kind of like, he was real condescending towards her with some of the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, she was saying, kept calling her, he was calling her ghetto. She's like, oh, I'm not ghetto. He like, you're not ghetto, but your mindset ghetto. And I'm like, man, that was a trip. And yeah, I mean, they played her like she wasn't educated for real. Like Joe was saying, like she didn't know how to spell chaos. Cause she's like, why would it be chaos and it's chaos? or whatever. He was like, you know what? And he just went ahead and said, man, what in the world? We just go ahead and roll with how you spell it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? He would just he would love her, and then he would like take a shot at her. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying she ghetto mindset, and you always doing ghetto stuff and things like that. Yeah, Joe, he absolutely was. He was on skates. You know what I'm saying? Moving. But here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy Chaos, my guy right here. You know what I'm saying? She bumps into him right. Coming out of where she was living at. And she was like, oh, I thought you were supposed to have been out of jail, you know what I'm saying, not this soon or whatever. He was like, yeah, I ended up getting out early, whatever. So they talk or whatever, and she was like, well, I'm engaged. And he was like, oh man, and he was trying to pry. Are you happily engaged? So instead of her saying, yes, I'm happily engaged, you know what I'm saying, whether you are or not, she let somebody who used to date, she was madly in love with, obviously still in love with, she let him in. You know, well, are you happily engaged? I'm engaged. You know what I'm saying? So he take her phone out of her hand and dial his number, you know what I'm saying, from her phone. So he got, you know what I'm saying, her number and stuff. So they went ahead, you know what I'm saying, to part ways. At this point, Arie and Ethan, they still, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, going back and forth with their little thing. Cause he said, I want to take care of you. I want to take care of you. Like he keep buying her stuff, and he's seeing like red flags, you know what I'm saying, with her. You know what I'm saying? So they at dinner, and they trying to have a conversation and things of that nature, and they get into it, you know, it's over dinner about his work, about her mindset and stuff. So he was like, no, I ain't gonna take it. I ain't gonna take the phone call. She's like, no, go ahead and take it. He's like, you sure? She was like, yeah, go ahead and take it with an attitude. So he go ahead and take it. While he's taking that work call, guess who texts Arie? Yep, your boy right there, Mr. Chaos, who had her in the shootout himself. So she was like, oh, I can't tell you right now, I'm at dinner with my fiance or whatever. He was like, well, it should be with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he just like hella disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? He just like steady. He was like a habitual line stepper the entire movie. However, you know what they say? It takes two to tango. So she was with it. You know what I'm saying? Arie was with it or whatever. So they end up meeting. And I said, when I first watched him, I said, man, she finna cheat on that man. They just ain't finna meet for nothing. So they end up meeting at this spot. And he was like, yeah, this was your. She like, I ain't been here in forever. He's like, yeah, this was your favorite spot. And she was like, our favorite spot. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go, here we go. So they end up kissing, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And she ended up having sex with him, you know what I'm saying, in the car. You know what I'm saying? Didn't go back to his place. Obviously, couldn't go back to her place or whatever. So they having sex in the car. Ethan blowing her up. You know what I'm saying? She like, oh, this is my fiance. Why she on top of Chaos? She literally on top of Chaos. You know what I'm saying? And she like, this is my fiance. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go or whatever. So she's feeling a certain kind of way. Ethan is feeling a certain kind of way because he's like, hey, I was calling you. You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you answer? She's like, oh, I end up going to, you know, the mall and, you know what I'm saying, didn't realize I left my, you know what I'm saying, my phone in the car or whatever. So Ethan, being the good man, and I'm doing that in quotations, being the good man that he is, he says, well, once you saw that you didn't have your phone on, why didn't you go back to the car and get it? I told you that I left it there. You asking me all these questions. I ain't with all them questions. So she just snapping on them because chaos in her head. You know what I'm saying right now. So they still having these back and forth issues. Obviously, her mood is changing. You know what I'm saying? Because she's coming in, you know what I'm saying, different times of the night on a, you know what I'm saying, on a couple occasions. And she's telling her friend that, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm still in love with Chaos. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in love with him. So they going, you know what I'm saying, back and forth they thing. She's still, you know what I'm saying, hollering at Chaos. And lo and behold, my guy right here, Ethan, my guy right here, Ethan, was still doing above and beyond things for Arie, even though how she was got doggone playing that man to the left. He and this mother finna build an investment property, you know what I'm saying, for her. So he needs a contractor, you know what I'm saying, to fix it up or whatever. Guess who the contractor is? You got it, your boy Chaos. So I'm like, man, are you freaking kidding me? At this point, you know what I'm saying? Ethan has no idea who Chaos is. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, man, this I heard you was good. You know what I'm saying? One of the best people in the city. So I want to know how much, you know what I'm saying, this will cost me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So, but the crazy thing about it, Chaos, Ethan didn't know who Chaos was, but Chaos knew who Ethan was. You know, because when before Chaos came to the property, he met Ethan at his office, and guess what picture he saw of guess what picture he saw on on Ethan's desk? Yep, a picture of him and his fiance Arie, the fiance that he had just slept with. You know what I'm saying? So now we got all this big cluster of just stuff where your boy Ethan is in the dark, Arie acting funny with him. My man Chaos, he just coming out of the woodwork, and he already got his own issues. So check this out though. Check this out though, fam. When Chaos was talking to Ethan, when Chaos was talking to Ethan about, saying, well, he's like, well, I just see pretty much, work anything on you. He's like, yeah, I was in jail for a minute, but I'm trying to get, things and do stuff the right way. He was like, yeah, I feel you, man. He like, yeah, man, I got a wife, and a kid. And I'm like, oh, snap. Arie don't know this man got a wife and a kid, that married him while he was in jail, and he playing the role like, like he's single and ready to change his street ways. So he playing the double. He doing the double set, on both of them. You know what I'm saying? So Chaos, now when Chaos gets to that property and they're meeting, he's in his mug saying all kind of shady stuff. Like, yeah, man, he like, yeah, I got married, but I'm still, so I still think about my ex, man. Like when I say, man, like she was a rider. And I mean in more ways than one. And they laughing, he hit him on the shoulder. I'm like, man, you playing in this man's face. I mean, playing in this man's face. Jacinda said he was trying to buy her. I think if I put it like this, I look at it from I know some people are big on love languages, right? And I think that was his love language was buying her gifts. I think that's how he like showed her, because he would buy her something like something major, like I said, the new Benz, the investment property. Then later on bought her like a place for Airbnb to where he said you could do anything you want to do with it, right? But then he would come and then say some condescending stuff to her. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like man, like it was just some stuff that he needed to figure out before he even should have gotten in another relationship. That man stopped seeing a therapist and everything, which he should have definitely, been still seeing that therapist. Kimberly, what's going on? She was trifling, and I don't like her, and he was trifling too. They both deserve what they got. I don't condone violence, but we finna get to that. We finna get to that in a minute. Joy, she wasn't used to being treated that way. No, not at all. Not at all. To Kimberly's point, like she even her mom tried to sit there and talk sense into her. Like, you know what I'm saying? She was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to get with the person that loves you, because the person that she was like Chaos or Kevin, that was his real name, but she was like, Kevin is the person that you want, but Ethan is the person that you need. Like she was literally, you know what I'm saying, trying to speak some wisdom into her, but it was like that itch went in one ear and out the other, and she continued to be a hot mess. She wasn't used to being treated that way. Nah, she wasn't. And she was like, she like I said, she kept seeing him as a square. And she was like, yeah, he treats me good. Like her hairstylist friend was like, that man treat you good. You know what I'm saying? That man doing you like, you worried about grandma, and my man done wrecked my car. You know what I'm saying? So she had two people in her ear, especially her hairstylist friend, telling her like, you'll be a dummy to fumble this dude. You know what I'm saying? And and she just didn't listen. And her mom was completely right. He ended up being, we gonna get to that in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But her mama did say that chaos would be, what I'm saying, the death of her. And when it came down to it, she was just doing some real ignorant stuff that she really, what I'm saying, didn't have to do. You know what I'm saying? I felt, because the thing about it is, like, he was trying to overcome and like see things her way, but she would do stuff to piss him off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, well, I see what you're talking about, and I just want to talk about it, or we'll talk about it later, and different things like that. And then she won't answer his call, or she'll be doing like some little sneaky, what I'm saying, shady stuff. So that one time when she was with, what I'm saying, chaos or whatever, and he was waiting, what I'm saying, on her. This man was in his movie theater in his home. You know what I'm saying? This man chilling in the movie theater, in the theater room in his home. Man, if y'all knew how much I love electronics, if I had a theater room, man. Anyway, man, me, man, we'll be at that ball all day long chilling. Anyway, but she ain't care nothing about that. Cause like I was saying, she wasn't used to that, right? So he's waiting on her. You can tell he had been drinking, he had been sipping, he'd been drinking, and he was like, "Where have you been?" It's like, "I ain't got time for this. As soon as I walk in, you ask me questions, I ain't got time for this, whatever." And so he finally has this little light bulb. He like, "I tell you what." He said, "I have to go to DC to handle a client or whatever." He said, "I'll be gone Wednesday to Saturday, and we'll just take a break, and then we'll let cooler heads prevail, and then we'll come back and start fresh." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "You go handle your business there, and I'll handle my business here." And I'm like, man, I already know what she's talking about, man. So he leaves out, right? So as soon as he leaves out, she gets on her phone, texting who? Bloop, bloop, your boy Chaos. So then my boy Ethan, boom, he pops back up in the theater room and was like, "I'm just finna get my phone." And she had like this dinner headlight, looks like, "Oh, ish. He just caught me texting or whatever." But he didn't say who you text or whatever. He just grabbed his phone, had that look like I know what's up. He had that look like I know what's up, but I really don't want to believe that what's up is really happening. You know what I'm saying? So he goes on his trip, right? Miss Arie types up a text. Remember, she told her, she like, "Hey, you can come over, I'll cook for you while he gone or whatever." So she's having a bit of a dilemma because common sense is starting to kick in. She typed up a text that she was gonna send to Chaos that was like, "Hey, cancel the night. You know what I'm saying? This ain't right." You know what I'm saying? And she'll finish his sin. So she kept fidgeting with it. She kept fidgeting with it. So she got up, went to the bedroom, looked at the picture of her and Ethan booed up, then said, "F this," and went ahead and told, you guessed it, Mr. Chaos to come on over. So earlier, you know what I'm saying, while my boy Ethan was at work early in the movie, when he got off, he said, "Man, I'm gonna cook for her." You know what I'm saying? And his coworker like, "Man," he said, "That's what you missing." He's like, "She need to be cooking for you. You just not getting off for, you know what I'm saying? You just not getting off for work." So he said, "Man, if I listen to you, I'll be single." You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is when Chaos ended up coming over there, you know what she did? She cooked for him. Not only did she cook for Chaos, she cooked his favorite meal. You know, she like, "This was your favorite," or whatever. So Chaos like, "Yeah, but I ain't come over to eat that. I came over there to eat something else." And she like, "Boy, you better eat this food that I'd have just, you know what I'm saying, cooked for you, whatever." So she like, "Well, how is it?" He like, "Yeah, man, this real good." So anyway, of course, one thing leads to another. He started kissing or whatever. So they go to the bedroom. They go to Ethan's bed. They go to their bedroom. Well, you might well say Ethan's bedroom because they're not married yet, even though, you know what I'm saying, she is living out, whatever. But pick this out. They're in his bed having sex. And remember at the beginning, remember what Ethan said in the beginning of the movie. He caught his first wife cheating on him in their bed. So she's doing the same. Remember what they say. Don't tell me something. Don't tell me about a pain that I had, and you go ahead and do the same thing that I told you that happened to me before, right? So that's what she's doing to him. That's what she's doing to him. I mean, they getting it in, and next thing you know, your boy Ethan, Yeah, man. He comes home early. The dude was like, man, we should have stayed another day in DC and partied or whatever like that. And once again, Ethan trying to be the good man is like, nah, man. He like, if I keep listening to you, man, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be single. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In this house, in his bed. Why y'all sleep in the bed, man? After he had already told her what he went through. What he already told her what he went through, but at that point, she did not give $2 at all. So he gets home early, whatever. The dude like, man, if I was you, I'd have just got a hotel room or whatever. So he like, nah, man, I want to surprise her. So he comes in. Arie, and he was loud. Like he didn't like tip in, like, yeah, I'm gonna tip in and you know what I'm saying, and surprise her. He's like literally calling her name. So as he gets closer to the steps, he hears something. And he looking like, what in the world? So he's tipping up the steps. He's tipping up the steps, and lo and behold, he can hear them making love, having sex, you know what I'm saying, from outside the door. So he cracks the door open and he sees bloop, bloop, your boy Chaos giving it to bloop, bloop, Arie. So my boy Ethan has a whole meltdown. This man closed the door. He done slid down. He done started crying. I mean, he done had a whole melt. He's reliving that very thing that broke him down to where he needed a therapist in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, know what I'm saying, Joy. Like he already need therapy for happening the first time. So after that man had that breakdown, he said, "You know what? I'm finna get my acrimony on." You know what I'm saying? He went and got that pistol. He opened that door. Whatever. He just stood there, and then he looked, and then Arie looked and saw that he saw it. She was like, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? At that point, my man Ethan went from 0 to 100 Jimmy real quick, real quick. You know what I'm saying? So he waving the gun or whatever and doing all that stuff, chaos. This man still think it's a joke or whatever. So he in this mode trying to be chaos, trying to be hard still. You know what I'm saying? So Ethan, at this point, Ethan was on. He was getting his Super Saiyan on. So at this point, he just got tired of chaos and started pistol whipping him. So Arie, you would think Arie like, no, Ethan, don't do it. She jumps on Ethan's back and tries to protect chaos. She doesn't, you know what I'm saying, try to protect her fiance, be like, no, babe, I was wrong, but you don't need to go to jail. You got a good job, you got a good career, you don't need to do this. She jumps on Ethan's back and try to stop Ethan from beating up on chaos. Arie did that, right? So he knocking out, you know what I'm saying, chaos, and then he ends up knocking out Arie, right? So when they wake up, he has chaos and Arie bound and gagged. Ethan at this point is in Super Saiyan mode. He's lost all rationale, right? So he's talking about he got some play in the background about how to dispose of bodies or whatever, and he's insinuating all this. He's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, the best way where you can get rid of a body. He said, I ain't talking about no mafia type stuff. He told I'm like burn the body like in a crematorium that my brother owns. So I'm like, oh man, this dude finna burn their bodies up. I'm like, oh man. And just when you think this man couldn't get any more sadistic, he does. He then spills the beans. He's like, yeah, Arie, did you know that that Chaos is a married man and he has a child? You know, and she's like, what? What? I can't believe you. You know, she getting upset. Like, why are you trusting the guy that knows you have a fiance and will still cheat on you and will still sleep with you knowing that you got a fiance? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was a red flag that he would be dirty, especially with his already his past instances of him doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that was on you. You know what I'm saying? You was the one that was playing Boo Boo the Fool, you know what I'm saying, with that one. So this when it takes a turn for this is when he had already lost his mind. He had already lost his mind, but he didn't have no mind when he when he did this. You know what? Yeah, because like I don't know if he's been through that in real life, but you could really hey, he act on that line. He was behind off on that line because I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like you could feel that. It took you back to that moment when he saw his wife cheating and him sliding down the door. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like man, yeah, like he finna do something unimaginable. And guess what? He did. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what he said or whatever, but he ended up getting Chaos' wife and kid to come there and then held them hostage. So I'm like, this man got his cheating fiance, the guy that was cheating on him, the guy that she was cheating with and playing in his face in his own house, and now he got the guy's family, you know what I'm saying, in there with them, holding them hostage. I'm like, man, this man is gonna go to jail like for 900 years, consecutive, concurrent. You know what I'm saying? However, you know what I'm saying, however you wanna, you know what I'm saying, you wanna see it. Oh, yeah, he showed it. He showed it. Send the text from Chaos phone. So this guy, Ethan, that is, I'm fast forwarding a little bit. This man does the unthinkable. I'm thinking that he's just gonna play around and he gonna end up torturing them and just saying, you know what, this ain't even worth it. And he let bygones be, you know what I'm saying, be bygones. This man shot and killed Chaos' wife and kid, man. Killed both of them. Shot him point blank. I'm like, bro, what is he doing? Like, this man has completely just, like, at that point, he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? He, he didn't care what in the world happened. You know what I'm saying? He shooting Chaos in the knee. He doing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, it gets to the point to where your boy Chaos is out the picture. That man, husband, and that man, wife and kid are innocent people that had nothing to do with it, right? They're dead. Arie, the one who facilitated this whole thing, still living. So she ended up breaking loose or whatever and running around, you know what I'm saying, the house or whatever. She ended up injuring him and all that good stuff. So he's still coming out. He still end up coming after whatever. Eventually, he offs, you know what I'm saying, Arie as well. Arie. So this man got 4 bodies on him. A dead fiance, a dead cheating husband, and an innocent wife and child. 4 bodies, that's what he got, right? So I'm thinking like, man, how's this man gonna get out of this? Like, this man, man, yeah, they need to lock him up and throw away the key. And guess how the movie ends? This Jimmy is on a blind date meeting somebody else. This Jimmy is on a date meeting somebody. I don't know how he got out of the murders. I'm assuming that they threw in that his brother had a crematorium part in there. I'm assuming that he just burned the bodies, right? But my thing is, how you gonna explain that your fiance just up and left, right? The hairstylist friend knew that Chaos was knew that Arie was seeing Chaos. So now the so now the hairstylist friend might be like, hey, something ain't right about this. The mama knew that Arie still had feelings for Chaos. So to me, it was like, bruh, you had 2 people who was gonna be real suspicious, you know what I'm saying, of you, that their best friend and daughter just all of a sudden just vanished, you know what I'm saying, into thin air. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this man was on a date. This man was on a date. Bruh, you had just had to see a therapist because your wife was cheating on you, right? And you saw it. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, so if you had to see a therapist and your ex-wife was cheating on you, and you caught it. Not only was your fiance doing the same thing, right? But you killed 4 people, including the child. You know what I'm saying? Man, she said, I hope he's not crazy. I'm like, you just better make sure that you don't act. Man, at that point, man, like anything would have set that man off. You know what I'm saying? She could have went to Walmart and it took too long. And that man would have been like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, oh, you was at Walmart, huh? Okay, then. Like anything would have made that man snap. You know what I'm saying? At you know what I'm saying, at this point. But what I'm just, to me, I was just gonna say that. To me, I think they should have a part two because I still want to know like what did the police investigate? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, your fiance just came up missing and we can't find her anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he had an alibi because, you know what I'm saying, maybe he was like, hey, I was in DC. You know what I'm saying? This time. Because remember, he wasn't supposed to come back to that Saturday. He came back a day early. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he would tell his friend, like, hey, if they ask you, we came back. I don't know or whatever, but maybe that was his alibi. Like I said, his brother had a crematorium. He burned the bodies into no recognition. They were ashes, and maybe he got away that way. But that man shouldn't have been dating nobody else, period. But I would love if they made a part two because I need to see what happened. I need to see is that woman that was like, I hope he's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? I need to see what is gonna happen with her. You know what I'm saying? So Tubi, if y'all gonna do a good man part two, let me know, man. Let us know. Give us a teaser. Now, this movie was made in 2023, and we're like halfway 2000 through 2000. You know what I'm saying? 20. You know what I'm saying? 23. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, early 2024. Hey, Tubi. You know what I'm saying? I think the director's name was Joel Smith. Yeah, Joel Smith, brother. Hey, we need a part two. We need a part two to this, brother. We need a part two, man, because you got us on the edge of our seats wondering how did you get away with all that. Yeah, he definitely took him to the criminal show. But that's my thing. If he didn't do a Mr. Sooner or later, somebody was like, man, where's Arie? You know what I'm saying? Now with chaos and his wife and child, he may could have gotten, you know what I'm saying, away with that. Because they really, you know what I'm saying, it really didn't make it seem like they had like knew a bunch of people and things. So maybe he could have skirted away with that one. But Aries still had a mother that was living and a friend that was very involved, you know what I'm saying? And she was a hairstylist too. So, you know, her clients and all that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't know, man. We need some answers. And so Joe Smith, if you're listening, if you get a hold of this, we need a good man part two by the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. If you need me to be in it, guess what? Holler at your boy, the Tubi Kang. I know how to be in it. I know how to. I'll be his friend. I'll be the woman that he was dating friend. I'll be like, hey girl, I don't know about him, man. That dude seemed a little crazy. He seemed like he'll kill and tie people up. You know what I'm saying, Joe? So Joe, holler at your boy, the Tubi Kang. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Her homegirl would look for good, good. That's a good point. That's a good, because like I said, her homegirl knew that she was seeing chaos. You know what I'm saying? So they probably had where her mama, well, you know, her mama talked, her homegirl talked to her mama, well, I haven't seen her. And then they put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? Well, she was talking about seeing, well, her mama called her Kevin. Well, she was seeing, had thoughts about Kevin. And like, yeah, she was telling me she was seeing Kevin. Maybe Ethan, you know what I'm saying, found something out and killed you, and there you go. You know what I'm saying? So you never know, you know what I'm saying, how to, oh, you would think yeah. Probably think chaos killed it and then went back to that yeah. That's a good point, man. Joe, you see all these storylines going on right here, Mr. Smith? Hey, if you're watching this, Joe, matter of fact, I need to find what your Facebook, IG, we need to tag you in this one, brother, man, because we need this a good man part two, man, later this year or early 2024. Like I said, I'll play the friend of the girl that he was dating. You know what I'm saying? I'll be throwing shade and reference, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, this movie. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they call it when you name the movie, you know what I'm saying, in the script. But like, oh, so you think Ethan a good man, huh? You know what I'm saying? You see what I did there, Joe? Man. But man, yeah, that'll be wild, man. But thanks everybody, man, for tuning in. Like I said, this movie was a trip, you know what I'm saying, to say, you know what I'm saying, to say the least. You know, it's just like I don't, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what, you know what I'm saying, he was thinking. You know, I'm still just like, you know what I'm saying? If you, how can I put it? If you know that you got some issues and anything is gonna set you off, then you know, so why, I don't know, why just put yourself in that situation to where you know that if something hit the fan, you know what I'm saying, you were gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Thank everybody, man, for tuning in, man. The movie next week is going to be the movie Vindictive, man. Vindictive. I'll get my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? Next Tuesday, man. But make sure y'all tune in for the next Tubi Tuesday, which will be the movie Vindictive, man. It was definitely a movie that had its parts. It had its good parts. It had its not so good parts, and you know we'll just leave it like that until I discuss that movie, man. But as always, man, this is Mr. Wind Out Wednesday, aka the Tubi Kang, and of course, this Tubi Tuesday is brought to you excuse me, courtesy of the 2020 podcast, man, LLC, man. So make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, man, the 2020 podcast, man. Go ahead and subscribe to that. And man, we just gonna have fun, man. And join me for Wind Down Wednesday tomorrow, man. We have a good one, man. We have a good one tomorrow. Is it's been a lot of things that's been going on, right? That we've been hearing about. And recently, Jacqueline Carr, a couple of months ago, she was in the whirlwind of, you know what I'm saying, her taking people saying, oh, they were over sexualized pictures or whatever. So the question, Bose, is tomorrow, right? The question is at 7:30 Central Time, can you be saved and sexy? Ooh, wait, that should be a good one. So, fam, make sure you tune into that one. I have two guests that are coming on, man, that will give their opinion on it. About can you be saved and sexy, man. So make sure y'all tune in, man, tomorrow at 7:30 Central Time. Your boy, Mr. Wind Down Wednesday, will be going live, man. So we thank y'all so much. And until later, oh, let me do a little reveal for y'all. To be continued. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed.